K-Bear 92.3 getting you set for the Custer County Fair. Another big night of action tonight with the Broken Bow Invitational, Ultimate Bullfighting. And if you're joining us on Facebook Live right now, you'll see that Luke Kaufman joins us in studio. Good to see you again,
Good to be
Luke.
back.
Yeah, I'm excited about tonight. It's we just talked with Josh Call a little bit ago, and it sounds like it's going to be a great show tonight.
It always is. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something special about an event that's on a Tuesday afternoon, and it pulls the kind of crowd that we've got here the last, what is this, year 7 in Broken Bow. But I don't know, the people really get behind it. There's one thing that the people here appreciate, and it's people that understand how to work cattle, and that's essentially at the core of it. That's what bullfighters are. They're cattle savvy people. Maybe a little more extreme than your normal farmer or your rancher, but it's it's fun to watch. And if you've never seen it before, I invite everybody to come and check it out.
You said it. There are a lot of folks who are very savvy when it comes to the sport of bullfighting. But as Rachel brought up before we went on the air, a lot of people don't know the technique. And, it's not just a bunch of guys running around trying to avoid a wreck. I mean, that's part of it. But there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, there's we call it controlled chaos. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, you have a unpredictable animal in the ring, and your job is to get as close to him as possible without something bad happening. And sometimes bad things do happen, but these guys, they have a pretty crazy way of turning a bad thing into a good thing. They'll get run over, and then they'll pop right back up, and then they'll jump over the bull's head to make up for it, I guess. It's just crazy, the things that adrenaline does to athletes, but they're athletes. I mean, I compare them to football players, to collegiate wrestlers, to track and field. They have to have all those traits. They have to have quick muscle memory. They have to have a lot of endurance, even though it's only a 60-second fight. They got to have their legs, because the bull has 4.
Luke Kaufman joins us this morning as we're getting folks ready for the Broken Bow Invitational Ultimate Bullfighting tonight at the grandstand at the Custer County Fairgrounds. 7:30 show. You can save a little money by buying tickets before 2 o'clock. If you stop by the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce, you can do that, or you can get them at the gate. But Luke, take us through a fight. The bullfighter steps into the ring. What is he trying to do? How is he scoring points?
Yeah, so each fight is 60 seconds. There's a 60-second clock, from the moment the bullfighter says, "I'm ready." He calls for the bull. The bull comes firing out of him. It's not a bucking shoot, like what you saw at the bull riding last night. It's what we call a shotgun shoot. That bull comes barreling straight forward right at him. And a lot of times at the start of the fight, when that bull's charging straight in a straight line, those guys will do a front flip. They'll do a back flip. They'll do a toe touch and try to get the bull to clear underneath them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's kind of the start of the fight. And then they've got about 40-45 seconds to stay engaged with that animal. We call it rounds. That's making passes with that bull, and they just barely get within inches of that bull, and he drops his head, and the bullfighter just takes one step and gets out of the way. It's really cool. It looks like a well orchestrated dance when it goes perfectly. And then at the tail end of the fight, if the guy thinks that he's in control, thinks he's got a good chance to win, he'll line up another good sell. He'll do a backflip, or he'll do a cape or something like that. Some signature move, that we'll usually call out at the end of it. And we'll watch it on the replay in slow-mo and show you just how detailed and how specific it is. These guys really know what they're doing. So it's 60 seconds, like I say, of organized chaos. And when it works together, when the guy does exactly what he wants to do, it's pretty beautiful to watch.
Luke's going to be on the mic tonight during the bullfighting as well, and we'll draw your attention to these things as they happen, which is cool to do. But let's talk about the athletes that you have coming to town. Josh mentioned the Corney brothers.
Yep.
Some local athletes will be in the ring.
Yep. Nebraska, when freestyle bullfighting started coming around in the early 80s, there was a guy from Gordon, Nebraska, that ended up being one of the most decorated bullfighters of all time, Miles Hare. And now there's other guys following in his footsteps. Josh's brother, Zach Call, was a very accomplished bullfighter. And now the Picorni brothers, Dane and Coy, we just did an event in their hometown of Thetford last weekend, and we ran out of seats because people were so excited to come and watch them in their, where they grew up. And this is kind of a bigger showing. But there's a lot of people buzzing about those guys. They're they're the Bash Brothers of bullfighting, basically. So they're crazy, they're collegiate rodeo athletes, and again, people that grew up around cattle, so they just have a real fundamental understanding of what this sport is. And so now we're just kind of fine tuning, what they're doing every single event, and they're getting better and better. So it's really fun to watch guys like that.
Who else are you excited for the crowd to see tonight?
We've got Connor Quesada. He's a guy from Colorado. He actually won the event in Thetford on Saturday night. Dylan Eidelman, he's a guy that's been here probably 4 out of the last 6 years. We call him the Machine. Just he's now training to be a police officer in Oklahoma, believe it or not. So in his days off on training, he'll take off and he'll come and enter a bullfight, which is crazy. And then probably the most exciting that everybody's excited to see about, Wagner Miquelenye is from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's 42 years old. He's the oldest active bullfighter that we've got in competition. When you look at the roster, and if you look at the guys, the average age is like 22, 23 years old, and he's 20 years their senior.
Has he been able to keep his career going that long?
He came from Brazil about 3-4 years ago, and literally left his family, left his home, came to America and said, I want to be the best, because the opportunities for bull riders there are really great. But for bullfighting, they're not as ample. So he wanted to be a bullfighter, and he came here and he started entering events, and it's pretty cool because he's coming into this event. He's the number 1 guy in the world. So if he could do it, he would be the oldest freestyle bullfighting world champion ever. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a show that you're not going to want to miss tonight at the Custer County Fairgrounds in Broken Bow. Again, a 7:30 show. Stop by the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce. You can save about $5 on either the general admission or the VIP seating if you want to be close to the action. Those are the tickets you want. You will be able to get them at the gate. What else do we need to mention this morning, Luke?
Just bring the family, bring everybody. It is, we define it as intense and dangerous, but these guys, they're showmen. It's I wouldn't compare it to wrestling in any way, but they're characters. They like to relate to the fans, and especially the kids. The kids, for some reason, they just get drawn to these guys like a moth to a flame, just because they're these larger than life characters.
Wow,
that
look
face
what
these
they're
crazy
doing.
bulls.
Yeah.
So it's a family friendly show. It really is, and we love it when families come out. So yeah, bring the kids. Plan for a good time. That's all we can say.
The Broken Bow Invitational Ultimate Bullfighting tonight, and just a quickly got the Nebraska State Fair event coming up here in the not so distant future.
Yep, the last Saturday in August, we'll be there. That's always a good one as well. That kind of rounds out the series that we do up in this part of the country, and we bring out all the great guys there to Grand Island at the outdoor pen, and that one's probably going to be lined up just like this one. We're going to have a lot of good talent, a lot of great bulls. That's another good one. If you're making plans to come to the State Fair, come see us there.
I think we're going to be able to round up some tickets to give away to that too. So on K-Bear. So Luke Kaufman, thank you so much. We look forward to the show tonight.
Thank you.
All right. K-Bear 92.3.